Hello? This is a crab cast. What up, Squidwin? How you doing there, buddy? Hopefully you can hear me talking to you. Greetings, Hurt Deer. Let's get a little bit of what we're all here for. Rock and roll. Welcome to my TV channel that I made myself. It's good to have you all here on Crabsmas Eve. Let's not fool ourselves. We're all here for one simple reason. Yes, there's a lot of confusion because of the event on Facebook. In American, in the imperial measurement system, it's today. Because it starts, in about how many hours? A couple hours here. And, but in England time, that's tomorrow, right? So let's just move that guy over there a little bit. We'll just move him. Who needs friends like me when you got crabs like this, am I right? Yeah, buddy, we live. So, as if normal life wasn't a big enough disappointment, this will also be a disappointment because it will get educational. It's kind of the purpose of this channel a little bit, But by all means, Crab Museum people too, if you feel the desire to speak on air, I can always email you guys a Google Meet link, and then usually that'll work. I would be more than happy to talk to you about your crabtastic mission. Screw my logo. We don't need this. All we need is crabs. Yes, and so again, we have our educational focus here is this. We don't even need this other crab because we got this crab playing here. A little bit of crabby history. Yeah. Of course, it's the more than 1 year anniversary of the Crab Museum grand opening that had to be postponed, right? Postponed to fuck. So I say we're 7 minutes into the stream and I'm already out of material. Just kidding. Twitch Cooley. My thoughts exactly. So let's see here. Different look. Just crabbing around, simply crabbing. So I guess we've got a couple of different things on the agenda today. You know, we're gonna look at our art submissions towards the end, because I want to really encourage you guys, if you're sitting at home and you have either hands or even just a mouth that you could put a writing utensil in and draw the shape of a crab. I'd highly encourage you to do that for selfish reasons. I would encourage it because because I want you to participate in my stream. And let's see here. Running out of USB ports. But I think while we're getting off to our start here, why don't we cover some of the basics, right? Talk about this horrible, boring educational reason why I'm wasting everyone's time today, which is our sign right here. It might not be obvious from the stream, but this is a real LED sign right now, running, you know, various crab-based animations, if you will, and it's a custom build. You see right down here, you can't really tell with my filter, it's a little funky, but there's it's the crab brain is this right here, which is a circuit board. Well, all right, let's make it a little interactive here, Twitch Cooley. All right, yeah. Besides, let's put our money, put the money where the crab is, right? So, all right. We got a little, this is how we're gonna do it, right? So we're just jumping into code, basically. And for any of you that are familiar with Arduinos or aren't familiar with Arduinos, they're these little tiny computers that are anywhere from 20 to 50 bucks, and you program them, and you put code on them, and then they do things. And our particular Arduino is hooked up to some LEDs, which makes the sign, right? So, all right, we're gonna prove it's real right now. We're gonna go into our code here. This is all copywritten code. No one, if you look at it too much, you're gonna need to forget it. Just kidding, by the way. It's actually the opposite of that, which is that we are gonna, well, when I'm done with it, I'm gonna put it all on the internet with a parts list and a diagram so you can build your own crab sign. But all right, so jumping into our code. See where it says Crab Museum right here? It says Heart Crab Museum Heart. We're going to replace that with another message. And this is where it's going to get interactive. I want someone in the chat to give me a new message to put through the sign right here. What could that message be? I'm going to wait for it. I'm going to be holding my breath. Yeah. I'm getting nervous on air. How about we're going to say, we're going to change it and say, I heart Twitch Cooley. Right there. So, well, then we're compiling our code, right? When you compile code, you tell the computer to put it together. And now if you watch our sign, and there's a little delay. Well, wait, no, we gotta upload the code. My bad. Hey there, Witches League. Thank you for showing up. It's great to see you, my dude. Well, yeah, wait, what am I doing? Why would it say anything but crab? All right, so we're gonna stop that. Okay, upload. We got one I Heart Twitch Cooley going through there, but it obviously should just say crab. But that was kind of cheating because it already said Crab Museum. So, yeah, that's why I didn't do that. But, crab, did you see that? Well, you guys have a little delay. It'll take a few seconds here. I think crab right now. Yep, you're seeing it. Beautiful. Okay, so we've established that it's real. Okay. Now, there's not anything else it could do. Just kidding. There's a whole lot else it can do. Not really easily, but you know, that's engineering for you. Yes, crab is real. 2021, I believe, is the year right now. It is indeed 2021. Again, I do really want to encourage you guys, and I'm going to type this in the chat here, to send me crab art, please, because this won't be it's not a competition, because art is not a competition. Art is participatory, collaborative, something that we all do together. But we will look at your art, and I'll leave it up to others to criticize it, so I can maintain my persona of being a really nice person. So I'm gonna change the message here. It's gonna say to crab, comma, or not to crab. Okay. Great existential question. Excellent. And you know, we could just start the crab art slideshow. I was gonna you know, make some crab art on the fly right here, but it's complicated. It's complicated because there's issues with USB ports. We don't have enough USB ports. But actually, I lied. I just figured it out right now. Can you only make the text appear from the other direction? Great question, Twitch Cooley. So let's jump back into code here. And I haven't commented any of the code, which is, you know, really a great thing. So let's try to break the code a little bit. I'm gonna run through our function here that draws that text across, right? So the bigger picture of the program is that there's two main functions. One does all this animating, and the crab itself and the little arrow are actually all part of an animated GIF that's been converted to text. And then there's a function, void message draw one, that you see up here, that actually prints the text, right? So let's go through and we're gonna comment. People are gonna go, oh, boring. And I'm gonna say, yeah. Have you ever watched the stream before? Okay. So we got some lines here that set the color of the text. You can see that matrix.set color. So if we want to change direction, hi Lucy Stoner, crab to you too. We're gonna have to you know, set this set cursor, right? So if we're doing this on the fly, it's putting me on the spot, but we're gonna try to do it. Set cursor sets the position of the text, right? And then we have this big old if thing right here. And what I'm guessing happens is we loop the message draw thing, and then this is if minus minus x is less than negative 100, then it generates a color and does the text. So we could try setting, see, this is just gonna break. Let's go set x plus 61, x plus 100. This is called code golfing, by the way, is when you're just changing things and hope they work. So it compiled, which is usually a good sign. It did something. I don't know if it's really working, if it really did that. Was it changing direction? You tell me. I couldn't tell, so maybe we can just undo all that and then look at it again. Alright, so let's undo all that, and then we compile, and we run. I'm gonna look, see which side it comes from this time. Okay, it goes across that way. I don't think it worked, to be honest with you. I don't think, because like that. I don't think it worked, but we could try again. Yeah, so this is the stream where we try to change code without really practicing. It's coming from that same side, so I don't know, to be honest with you. I don't know if it's working, Twitch. Well, let's go look at some other things here. And I did to actually manage, so maybe I'll lead us in a little bit more crab art. And by the way, I'm gonna open the floor too to anybody. If you have music that's not gonna get me zucked, as in you're not on some major label that the AI bots are gonna be like, yo, this is important music, then feel free to send me a link to that same crabby thing that we have. That's right. All right, let's do a little sanity check here. The time is 3:49, and can you raise your hand at home if you're feeling crabby? Great, that was really good. Nice job, everybody. I think, we're still gonna wait a little bit. Again, and you know what? I will put the email address in here. Thank you, Hurt Deer, for your hand. If you send me crab art, you could potentially win nothing. It's not a contest. You're not gonna win anything, but you get to participate, and that feels really good to do. You get to be part of something, let's see. It's not a test, by the way. This is my test message, but I'm just gonna edit that real quick. Which is League 69 says his mom's a crab. That's great. Cuckoo for Krabby Puffs at gmail.com. And let's make the color of that red like a crab. So again, we're gonna do the art maybe in the last half an hour, maybe in the last 15 minutes. We'll kind of see how that goes, see how many submissions we got going on here. This is not readable anywhere, is it? But that's okay. So again, I'm gonna kind of take this back to our code here. Well, let's try looking at, well, the big picture of kind of what's going on here. We have this draw clause, and I guess there's a couple other things I want to go into and cover about, again, how this works. So I'm gonna unplug this just for 1 second. We're gonna do a little close-up, and we're gonna talk about vaporware in relation to the crab, right? In terms of these things that may or may not happen. So in the screen here, you see that little green computer in the middle. That's what's called our Arduino. What you can't really see or kind of see is all these wires going around. We've got a couple options. The nice things about these little boards is that you can add all sorts of sensors and interesting things. So let me tell you a little bit about my plans. The first plan is to utilize the SD card right there, and that's particularly hard to see. But these little computers have an SD card. So I built this about a year ago, and I said, hey, I'm going to give it to those crab guys at Mr. Birdo's birthday, and that never happened because of coronavirus. So that gave me a year and a half to work on it, and I didn't. And that's why we're all here, because I thought if I talked about it, I would work on it more. So what we've done, or what we're going to do, maybe we could start working on this now. It's hard. Code's hard to write. Is to do a fact of the day where you put a list of facts on the SD card and it'll change that message every time randomly. That'd be pretty cool. That's something that we're thinking about doing. Another thing that we have here is this is a little ultrasonic distance sensor. You got two little speakers here. You wire them up with those little pins and they chirp. Would have been a great social distance alarm had I built it, but I didn't. It's not done. Another thing I'd like to share with you guys is our is a motion sensor. Similar to the distance sensor, the distance sensor will actually give you a value that you can use to see how close is something to this crab. Jeremy Jumbles says crab. Yeah, I agree. So to just give you a little idea of all the little ideas, parts, pieces we can add. Crab, Hurt Deer says crab. You know, we could make the sign, you know, distance sensitive. Say back off the crab, you know, if something like that happens. Okay, we're getting our first live crab submission. I think this is a really good time to start throwing these things on the air here, so. All right, guys, I'm dropping it. It didn't work. We got almost here. It didn't work again. That's okay. We almost got it. Save image as. I'm gonna save it as crab, I think. Crab 2, maybe. All right, ready? Boom. So let's talk about this crab. Crab-strated. I often feel crab-strated. I feel without power over my life, but acceptance is an important part of life. So here we have our first submission of a crab. Judging by the head hinge, I think it's Canadian. I'm not sure. The crab, it's saying the word crab, which, you know, I talk about Pokemon a lot. I do like Pokemon, and in this sense, the crab is similar to a Pokemon because of how it's announcing its own name. It's saying crab. Maybe somebody in the audience could comment on whether or not crabs can really speak, but I don't think that they can. So again, this is our first submission here from Hurt Deer. Okay, they can. He says they can say crab. It's just very quiet. Okay, that's good to know. So, you know, it's not really a competition, unless someone wants to try to beat everybody else. Squidwin says crabs have highly developed communication strategies. I would like to know more about this, Squidwin. Maybe if there's some crab facts from gastric grinding to drumming parts of the chele against their bodies. Interesting. And you know what? I'm gonna do something else here, which is look up some, you know, crab facts on the Crab Museum Instagram. That's on Instagram. It's at Crab Museum. So let's look at this other one. Crabs are the only animal besides humans to have human resources departments in their social hierarchy. That's unbelievable. Jeremy Jumble says crabs invented horses. I think I knew that one. LA Bubble 07 says crab. Okay. This is all good info. All right, let's see. So I'm gonna just pick some crab facts here. All right, so this is another one, and we'll. I hope the Crab Museum doesn't mind me just wholly stealing their content and reading it, but you know, it's we're in a post copyright world. Squidwin says crabs have copper-based blood called cyanide. That's nuts. That's really interesting, actually. Okay, so Neon Sewer says the first person to get fired for overuse of uppercase was very crabby. Interesting. Crabs have very short tails, by which is 69. Okay, Squidward, we got written consent to start reading some crab facts off of our off of the Crab Museum Instagram. And again, if you aren't already in the know, I would highly recommend to go download Instagram, amass an entire 50,000 followers, and then follow the Crab Museum after that. Not until you've done that. All right, first official crab fact. Crabs are pro-choice. This is from International Women's Day. Female crabs can choose the time and place that they carry offspring. After mating, female crabs can hold onto sperm in storage sacks called spermathaca. They can decide when the environmental conditions are best before fertilizing themselves. Some crabs may decide not to reproduce at all. Female crabs are also often promiscuous, which means they may have many mating partners. The female crab can make use of a wide range of genetic material and ensure a wide gene pool. In 2000, a study by the Canadian Journal of Zoology found that the snow crab can hold up to 12 different partners' ejaculates. Sorry, I felt like that was a climax. Get it? Let's see. Hurt Deer says, fun fact, someone managed to sign up to Instagram using my email before me, so a bot claimed it, and I found myself with an account of thousands of Just Millionaire Things pages. That's awesome. Lucy Soner says, big up the crab ladies. Absolutely big up the crab ladies. That's female empowerment at its finest, I would say. Duncan says his ex would be jealous. Maybe she should consider applying for crabhood. Neon Sewer said, that's what I heard her tell your aunt anyways. Crab apples, nothing to do with crabs. This is a crab fact, and if you think about it, it's still a fact only by the fact that it has nothing to do with crabs. It's a crab fact because it's, even if it has nothing to do with crabs, it's a fact that it has nothing to do with crabs. Crab apples are named because of the branches they grow on. A gnarled branch is sometimes described as crabby, possibly due to its spiny or twisted appearance. What we do know is that crab apples make a delicious jam. We didn't all know that. I didn't know that until I read that right now. I didn't think they were really good for anything. I thought they were good for when you're a child and you find one and you say, oh, it's crab apple, and it's like it's your first time finding fruit in the wild, so you obviously want to eat it a little bit, and you eat it just a tiny bit, and it's not very good. So it's Squidwin says the jam is off the scale. Thank you, Squidwin, for alerting me to that. I'm checking our email here. We just got another crab submission. So if you'll give me 1 second, I'm gonna pull that up. All right, let's see here. Do a little video magic like I do, little computer video, and pull up our next crab drawing. All right, this crab drawing comes to us from JBellyV87, at JBellyV87. I'm gonna type that just in case you feel, you know, like this is your kind of style of art, and you're like, hey, sir, could I pay you to draw me another one of your fine crabs? All right, drum roll, please. And we're just gonna start stacking all this crab art. I think we'll just start covering everything until there's nothing left. All right, ready? You ready for this next crab drop? All right, drop. Oh, and then it disappeared. What happened to it? Was that it? Where'd it go? We lost it. Let's try it again. Oh, Time Force Crab. Wow. Okay, so this is, let's talk about this crab for a second. Oh, Time for Crab. I'm sorry, Time for Crab. It is indeed time for crab. Well, it's not actually. It's gonna be time for crab in actually an hour, right? It's not officially crab day yet. If you have been saying crab, you now owe money to the Crab Museum. I believe they've copyrighted the crab. Anyways, so we have time for crab, and this is a crab. It's pretty photorealistically, it's very well drawn. Twitch Cooley says it's now or never, and I think that's a good philosophy actually to have. It's time for crab, it's now or never. I don't want to live forever. So this crab's holding what appears to be a stopwatch. And the time on the watch is 4 o'clock, which is a really, really weird coincidence that it's 4 o'clock right now. I like that. That was not planned. And in fact, none of this was really planned. It was all a coincidence. I was just gonna do my normal boring stream and put a sign up, and then it turned out to be crab day, and I was like, hey, this sign is actually, it's about a crab. See, look. So there's a lot of coincidences, and I think this would be a good time to talk about the convergent evolution of crabs. This is one of my favorite crab facts. Is why does everything evolve into crabs? And there's an actual term for this. The first person to type the term in the chat gets absolutely nothing. But and Carl Jung would be proud. DCH0 Naycut says Carl Jung and Krabby Horse. I don't know what that's a reference to, but crabs are good. Crab Instrumentality Project, nice one. So again, let's see who can say the word here. I will give it away in a minute. Carcinid, I didn't mean to give it away, is an example of convergent evolution in which a crustacean evolves into a crab-like form and a non-crab-like form. The term was coined by evolutionary biologist L.A. Borodale, who described it as one of many attempts of nature to evolve a crab. One of many attempts of nature to evolve a crab. Okay, so there's a bunch of examples. I'm looking at the Wikipedia page here. King crabs, prehistoric crab. Why don't we get this? We'll put this image on here. This is not original crab art from a viewer. This is just some crab facts. I'm gonna shrink down. Again, that was from Jay Bellavie. If you like that one, go look through the comments and find a link to it. So this is just a bunch of different crabs. To be honest, this is probably our most scientifically accurate piece of crab that we're gonna have on our show here today. As you can see, they're given letters of the alphabet to help identify them. Much like humans, I believe, get names to help identify them, which are also made of letters of the alphabet. Twitch Cooley says, also fun fact, horseshoe crabs are not crabs. I believe it. I don't know why, but I believe you. I remember seeing something, they were like trying to use their blood to cure coronavirus recently, which is, I don't know if I believe that. There's a lot of things people say. But yeah, so that's a bunch of crabs. Hertio says they can be crabs if they want to be. That's a good inclusive attitude. And Neon Sewer says G is hench AF. I think I can deduce what hench means from your comment, which is just friggin' geeked out swole, I think is how we would say that. Lucy Center says let crabs identify as crabs. I agree. But because this is not an official piece of art, it's canceled. And we're not going to keep it up there. I'm going to keep my crab sign going, to crab or not to crab. Again, if you have crab art that you're just pumping out right now, the email is on the screen. I'm checking it rapidly. Submissions are coming in faster than I can even post right now. But I'm only choosing the best of the best, essentially. So, and speaking of which, we got another submission coming in here. Before we get back to our topic of carnization. All right, let's see. Work a little video magic. Can't quite get to it here. Okay, this one's coming in from DH1134. All right, we got a crab drop coming in hot in 3, 2, crab. Okay, wow. So this is an interesting crab. This is obviously an American crab as opposed to the Canadian crab that we saw before. And in fact, my first thoughts on seeing this is it's not a crab, it's a kind of flea or a tick, which is an interesting take. Now, that's just how I feel looking at it. It's not red, which I also don't. I was looking up earlier if crabs are really red or if they appear to be red after you cook them. That's something I'm not 100% sure about. Grind crab, says Neon Sewer. And so this crab is, again, it's American, presumably. It could be a different country with red and white stripes. DH says it's an arthropod, a crab louse. Interesting. So it's maybe not really related to the common crab. Squidward said there's blood is called lysate, and it coagulates around impurities and bacteria in it. Crabs come in so many colors. Interesting. Yes, as we did see earlier, they do come in a lot of different colors. Very, very beautiful they can be. And this crab obviously is saying, it says, for those who can't read, give me puberty or give me death. Now I wonder if that means that this is a juvenile crab, or if it's just looking for something else in its life. I'm sure there's different interesting stages of life that crabs go through that we can't really understand. Yeah, really good. This is a really well done one. You know, I'm gonna go back and I want to read a couple more crab facts because you know, that's just too good. It's just too good. Witches League says it's very neat, and you know what, Witches League, I agree. It is a really neat picture. Again, if you enjoy our crab facts, go follow. They're not really officially. They're kind enough to humor me, but I'm not officially associated with the Crab Museum. But they are. Follow them on at Crab Museum on Instagram. Neon Sewer says his uncle Steve is nicknamed Crab, and I would. Neon Sewer, could you maybe elaborate as to why he's called that? I would like to know. I bet there's a story. So, all right. Speaking of horseshoe crabs, we got a crab fact having to do with horseshoe crabs. To be or not to be, horseshoe crabs, their eggs, and the interconnectedness of life on Earth. Dwindling numbers of horseshoe crabs in a protected area of South Carolina, U.S. are causing the dangerous decline of the knot bird. The knot has one of the largest migrations of any bird, traveling over 14,000 kilometers a year. The birds are often rely on plentiful eggs laid by horseshoe crabs to fuel these long journeys. However, the pharmaceutical industry's reliance on horseshoe crab blood is putting more than just crabs at risk. See, this is what I was talking about. They use their blood, maybe not for coronavirus. That's okay, Neon Sewer. Thank you, though. You've been brought up with Cap. Okay. All right. Well, wish Steve the best for me. The horseshoe crab blood is both important and valuable because it has the amazing ability to coagulate around contamination in vaccines and medical equipment. Perfect for vaccines and medical equipment. If anyone's getting a vaccine anytime soon, go thank a horseshoe crab for its contribution to science. It is it's really a considerate thing for crabs to do with their blood. I also believe their blood is blue. Local environmental groups have called on judges to block pharmaceutical contractors for Charles River crabs who work close to the crab refuge from harvesting the crabs. According to the court motion, the refuge, which was designed for the very purpose of protecting migratory birds, like the red knot, no longer contain a sufficient number of horseshoe crabs to sustain migratory shorebird populations. Has anyone ever seen the mermaid? I think they're called mermaid purses, is what they call the horseshoe crab little sacks. No, actually, it's something unrelated, but they're cool. They're kind of creepy too. I'll post a picture right now, and then we'll do some more art. Neon Sewer, he was just Uncle Crab, which is convenient as I was named Steve after him. So we had that distinction. So you didn't get confused between each other. I see. That's a good, yeah, I can see why that was a good strategy. So yeah, this doesn't have anything to do with crabs, but it's a mermaid's purse. Looking real weird. Let's read a little bit about the mermaid's purse because everything is connected. If my intuition is correct, that means that whatever made the mermaid's purse is going to evolve into a crab within a couple of years. So might as well learn about it. FYI, these guys have just gotten $86,000 in funding to protect the wildlife reserves as lockdown lift. That's good news, right? I think you're talking about the people that are helping that bird because it doesn't have enough food. Great news. All right. So an egg case or egg capsule, it's a oviparous sharks. So it's like, yeah, I guess that's a shark egg sac. It kind of looks like a crab, but we're going to delete that because it's not a crab. And we're going to go do a little bit more art. So again, we're kind of at T-minus 16 minutes on the end of our crabtacular pre-crab celebration. Remember, for Crab Day, just post crab. Don't do anything. Don't hurt the crabs. Mermaid's purse sounds like a sexual euphemism. It does, now that you pointed out. I won't elaborate on that, though. I'll let everyone use their imagination. So, okay, it's time for me to show my art. This is a piece of crab art that I made yesterday in preparation for the stream. I'm very proud of it. Originally, when this was going to be a competition, I already knew that I was going to rank myself as the winner. And I will try to critique my own piece here, even though that can be a difficult thing to do. And there it is. It's very small. Can I make it bigger? Can I expand it? It's pixel art, so it's actually kind of meant to be expanded. And so this is a piece of art that I drew of an old computer monitor that actually has crabs falling out of it. And you know, the idea behind this piece was that that's what Facebook is going to look like tomorrow. Beautiful. Yeah, I hope that is exactly what Facebook will be. Yeah, I wanted the fantasy world that I like to, engage in on the internet, why I go to the internet. I wanted to see that come out of the computer and become real life. Thank you, Neon Sewer. Thank you. So that's what inspired me to draw it. And it should also remind you that even though in this this kind of surreal piece inspired by Rene Magritte, that ocean is not. It might be leaking out of a computer in the picture, but it's really just an ocean. That's an ocean that's real. It's a surreal message, but the ocean itself is not surreal. The ocean itself is very real, and crabs live there, and that's a big part of why we're supporting these crabs. We want to see them thrive. We want to see them alive, and that's going to take us to our next piece of art. This is actually the first submission by Hurt Deer, but it's the second piece of art we're showing. I do like this one, and it's going to continue. We're going to keep talking about nature, and so we're going to have another crab drop here in T-minus 3, 2, and 1. Crab drop. Oh. So, all right, we got another one, and immediately I'm really enjoying the fact that you can see a great deal of consistency between the artist's style here. You see like a similar take on the eyes. Not a Canadian crab this time. This is either American or that's a great question too, because if we define if we say like this is a Canadian crab but it lives in the water and lakes that are actually just around Canada or in the oceans, they're not really from they're not from land. So how do we define them is kind of what I'm getting at. But this crab is a good reminder that nature can be very cruel. Nature, as humans, we don't, I guess, have to have good intentions. We could just destroy, the planet and civilization and everything else. But, I would like to have good intentions. But this crab's holding a knife. He is also saying crab. Yeah, he's got a knife. So it's a reminder that, nature can be very cruel. And it doesn't necessarily, they don't necessarily abide by the same laws that you and I might find valuable. And that, frankly, that hold society together. Crabs don't care about human society, but humans care about crab society. That might be a one-sided relationship, but it's just the way things are. I think that we as humans probably just don't want to destroy ourselves, and we need the crabs, just like the crabs need us. And okay, we got more art coming in. We actually have a double submission here from artist Mellow Yellow. And wow, okay, this is a first. This is unbelievable. Actually, we have crab sculptures that have been made. Oh wow, these are really great. Okay, so I'm gonna read. There's a small description. Getting ready for another crab drop in 3, 2, 1. Crab drop. Okay, way too big. We gotta scale that down. Sorry about that. Okay, sorry. I know. We're getting it. There we go. Okay. So wow, this is quite the piece. We're just gonna blow this one up for a second here. So I'm told that this is an interactive art piece, and that the small crab, her name is Claudia, like CLAW, and the big crab, his name is Gordon Ramsay, and as you can see, he's got some of his legs have fallen off, but Claudia can ride on Gordon Ramsay's back. Which maybe there is a natural precedent for that. Maybe there isn't. And Claudia has a series of hats that she wears, which would maybe guess that she's like a hermit crab or something like that, because I know hermit crabs, they wear things similar to hats, except they're just shells, right? Let's see. I wonder if we can find a real quick crab fact about the hermit crab on the Crab Museum Instagram at Crab Museum. I'm just gonna do a quick once over. Maybe not. Maybe I just gotta get another one. I always, I think hermit crabs were my introduction to crabs as pets. I never owned any crabs as pets except for a hermit crab. And I did find one, yeah. Don't look at me, I'm shy. Research finds that the shyer the crab, the more sperm it stores. Interesting. Oh, wow, this is great. This is, there's a really great crab meme here that I'm going to try to capture and maybe post. And meanwhile, we'll shrink down this. We're going to start encroaching on our little sign here. I'll be covering maybe myself up soon. In the most of the animal kingdom, the boldest animals have the most success in reproducing. Researchers from Plymouth University thought the same would be the case for hermit crabs, but they were wrong. In fact, of the crabs studied, Pagurus bernhardus, it was the shyest males that stored the most sperm. When a hermit crab feels threatened, it retreats into its shell in what scientists call a startle response. To test the hypothesis, researchers took the test crabs and startled them by picking them up and inverting them. Then they counted how long the crabs took before emerging. At the end of the experiment, the crabs were dissected and their spermatophores were measured. They found that the crabs that took the longest to re-emerge had the largest storage of sperm. They write that until their spermatophores are provided to females, the payoff from their investment in sperm has not been secured. So as long as these shy males do eventually mate, their chances might be better than their more brazen counterpart crabs. Wow, you heard it not here first, but you did hear it here, that the shyer the crab, the more sperm it has. So that's just a wonderful kind of thing. We got one more art piece, and before that we say crab fact: 90% of pet hermit crabs die in the first year of captivity. That's pretty sad. I feel like it's probably not very surprising, but it is sad to hear that. They deserve a chance at life. Yes, Witches League, I agree. He says, me too. I only know about hermit crabs. I thought hermit crabs pick up shells like the humans pick out clothing. But keep that thought. We're going to drop one more piece of crab art. We're kind of getting towards the end of our crab cast here. Remember, everybody, tomorrow just log on and post crab, or don't. If you don't want to do it, you don't have to do it. No one's going to make you post crab. So participate if you want. If you don't have to do it. Also, email me more crab art. We are getting to the end here, and I don't have any more. I have so many emails I can't even pick them out. So I just need one to shine through and become like our gleaming glimmer of crabdom over here. But as of now, we're looking. This might be one of our final crab drops. Let's see. 3, 2, 1. Crab drop. Again, it's way too big. Wow. Okay, the suspense is building, obviously, as we're getting closer to seeing what this is. Here, I'll blow it up for a second. It appears to be essentially like a dead crab. There's the upright. I don't know what else to say. It looks bleached. It looks like it was bleached in the sun. It looks like a face hugger. Yeah, I remember that's exactly what I saw or thought when I saw it. And I believe, it would make sense that the face hugger was based off of crabs. In terms of in Alien. I think Ridley Scott probably did that. I don't know for sure. It's a bit of speculation, but I do like this one. There's a lot of pain in it. It's death. That's what it is, right? We see it. It's got some broken legs. It's got a big claw. I actually do have the pleasure of having these sculptures right in front of me. I just took pictures of them so I could get them onto the stream. Venmo me 20 Bitcoin and I will send you one of these sculptures. Alien provides a blueprint for the crab takeover. I heard they'll start with Poland. Interesting. Interesting fact from DCH0 Honeycut. All right. So, shrink this one down. Make sure I'm still here. Got kind of, now it's kind of growing out of me. I don't want to cover my crab art. We've really run out of room. And that's actually, it's kind of perfect because, you know, we're out of art. We are getting towards the end of our crab cast. I do want to share one more convergent crab piece of just absolute convergent crab evolution. Now this is a project I worked on about 4 years ago, conveniently dubbed the crab. And you know, again, I say convergent evolution because this project evolved into a crab without any planning or ideas. I mean, it was literally like it just turned into a crab. And we're gonna see maybe another crab drop work here, maybe not though. Maybe that, yeah. What's a WebP? That's a really terrible file type, isn't it? Yeah. Let's see if we can even do this real quick and get an image now that I've talked it up. So the crab, yeah. So it's just another crab coincidence in my book that something would turn into a crab. But again, if I can get a picture of this going before the end of our stream here. This is a project I called the Crab, and this project was built as a pyrotechnics controller. It was built in order to be able to control flamethrowers and take them to an installation. But unfortunately, it's looking like I'm not going to be able to get this picture on. So maybe I'll just have to save it for next Crab Day next year, which is going to be the 26th of April, not the 25th, like we prematurely and incorrectly assumed was this year. So I think that's it, guys. Let's see if we can get this crab pick real quick going, but I think we're kind of out of time here. Hurt Deer forgot time zones existed, but hey, you know, what's time to a crab? Am I right? You know, it's nothing. It's, I don't think they experience time. Thank you, Krabby B. I think you mean me. I think I'm Krabby B, and I am crabby most of the times. It's crabby today. I'll be crabby tomorrow. Thank you. It's been a pleasure. I will get a picture of this crab. This is gonna be our bonus material, is if we can get a bit of this one last piece of crab art. I swear, it's real worth it to see. It really is. So let's see if we can't make that happen real quick here. Even if we have to, even if it costs us everything. Yeah. Anybody know how to do a screen rip on, you know, on a MacBook Pro? That's supposed to be doing it, but let's see. Okay, well, that's one. Let's do one more. Crab open. Command Shift 3. Thank you, Duncan Honeycutt. All right, yeah. All right, we got a crab here. Good news. We got one more crab to show. It's the Crab is the name of it. And this crab was 4 years ago. This crab came into existence, and again, I really actually with this have a easy time in believing in convergent evolution. That worked, but then it disappeared. All right, so here's the crab in its open form. And the way that this baby works. So you can see down that little green circuit board's a little computer called the Raspberry Pi, right? And that's the brain of the crab. That's a computer. That's what controls the crab. And actually, the crab has Wi-Fi. Not pictured here, but the crab does have Wi-Fi. And then the Raspberry Pi goes to what would essentially be like the central nervous system of the crab. Those red boards towards the back have special circuits to isolate noise, to convert voltages. It's like a nervous system, right? And then those all go out to the relays. And if, for those of you who don't know what a relay is, it takes a small electrical signal and converts it into the flipping of a switch. And that's what actually triggers the shooting of flames. We've got one more version of this. We'll show you the closed version here. And then I'll show a little video. Why not? We're over time, but we're chilling. You know, it's crab. We're all crabby anyways, right? We'll post the crab too. And then, yeah, why not share a video of the crab working, doing its thing. You can see the plugs off there. They are suitable for AC power, but really they're just 12 volts or something. Yes, a victory lap. Thank you. So there's a crab in its closed form and open form. Very interesting, obviously. And now we'll go onto YouTube real quick. Look at some crabby videos. Obviously all copyright safe videos. But again, thank you guys. I'm sure you're all clicking off now as you get back to your very busy and important other pre-crab day adventures. I don't have any other message for that, except, you know, be kind to the oceans. You know, be kind to the oceans. We only have a couple of them, and they're not getting any younger. Am I right? So, Squidwin says, fine crab. Huntington's disease. I don't know what that is, but I'm gonna go ahead and guess it's not a real great thing. But all right, let's see. We got a couple. That's a crab video. This is a crab video. This is a crab video. All right. Now, if you'll excuse me for 1 second here as we get our thing set up. Our screen. Yeah, we'll just do this one. All right, and then we'll have to get this going here. Turn off all these pictures. We're done with that. We're done with that. We got crab stuff here. And we have our video of the crab clicking around like a crab does. Let's pause our music. And you might even be able to hear the famous click of a crab as this happens. Really, really fast video here. But crabs click. And as you can see, the original idea was that this crab is a drum machine, no less. It's actually a fire shooting drum machine. And you say, fire shooting, what does that look like? It looks like this. Which maybe doesn't look super nice to the oceans, but it hasn't gone off in a really long time. So, you know. So, remember, folks, crabs can shoot fire. Even technology convergently evolves into crabs. And with that, I think we're sending off. That's it. That's our show. So, again, thanks for tuning in, you guys. Thanks to all the support from the Crab Museum. That's at Crab Museum on Instagram in Margate, United Kingdom, England. Huge thanks to you guys for all that you're doing. Squibin, thank you for stopping by. Everyone who chatted, everyone who submitted art. You guys are the best. I love all of you, except if you don't subscribe, then I don't love you, because this is conditional love. Just kidding. But your support's always appreciated. Thank you guys so much. You're beautiful, and we will see tomorrow when all the crabs come out. So happy Crab Day. Thank you guys so much. This is Krabby B signing off. We'll let our leave a little music going for a minute here, and go back to our crab art.
Peace.
Crab.